All right, so we're doing the season 3 tier list now. Insane that it's actually been 3 whole seasons. We've only gotten 4 new units in season 3, but there's going to be a lot of changes as to where units are placed, and I think that it's going to be very important for this video specifically, as I'm going to explain a lot of changes and shifts in the meta. Now, of course, some units I just placed absolutely wrong, and that's because I was being an idiot. So I'm here to make amends on that, and you got to realize all these units are mainly going to be ranked with their most or like max potential or their best team. And if their best team is really good, well, obviously they're going to be really good, even if their solo value isn't amazing, right? I think all of that stuff is going to be very important, and like a good example of that will be the summer, But without a further ado, let's just hop right into it. So, as for the differences in movements, okay. So first off, we're gonna start from S tier, go down to D, and change the movements as is. So as for Raya, he goes down to A. His value isn't crazy because he needs Lich to really perform well, but actually running Lich and Raya together is just not really possible anymore. And if you do, it's because like you have the extra 3 speed on both Finral and Voltos. I'm talking about like you have the whole talent tree unlocked, and then you also put in the 3 speed, which you have to buy unless you get extremely lucky. And to buy it, it's a $100 pack. So I'd say that that's the only way, is if you guarantee that Finral and Voltos go first. But even at that, there's much better teams. So Raya gets kicked down a notch. Except for that, I believe everyone else should stay. Never mind, Ghosh is going down. He doesn't offer any speed value, and now that the whole meta isn't just Giga buffing Noelle and you actually need to stay alive, I'd say that Ghosh does go down, and his value isn't as crazy because his speed just isn't as high as William. So that is my main point for that. Now as for A tier, let's see. So for A tier at the moment, Raya's good, Rill is good, William needs to go up. He needs to go up. William is just insane. One of the best units. He has speed increase or stamina increase depending on what your stamina is. And he also damage reductions, increases attack. He's just a really good unit with a very nice damage reduction, and at max dupes has the highest speed in the game. So William not being an S was honestly a crime on my part, and I'm sorry. Next up, we've got Fuego Leon, who's going down to B tier because of the fact that he just doesn't really have a team, a good team. Maybe when that new Fuego comes out and that Jack Explosion, like Kafka unit comes out, maybe he'll be good. But right now, Fuego doesn't really do enough damage. He doesn't really provide anything for the team, and he's just not good. So Fuego, sadly, is going down now. You've been kicked out of A tier into B tier. Now, next up, except for that, Yuno needs to go up to S tier. S tier, is because of the fact that he has the highest debuff for speed in the game next to Charlotte. But this guy applies Incapacitate, and it's very good. I think you could maybe get his speed higher, but I'm not too sure on that. He applies a concentrated attack, and he has a good combo if you need it. And also, there's a new meta where you use this skill page. Hold on. Let me try to find it. You use this skill page, and you basically have a 100% chance to inflict taunt on an enemy if they have a debuff. I'm not too sure 100% how it works, but when you face it in defense, this Yuno is great because he has the high speed, higher than Lotus, so you would want to use him over anyone else and get those taunts off right away, which makes him just absolutely clutch as hell. Yuno is just someone I think I've undermined for too long, and I think he's just a really good unit. Now, as for increases from B tier, we've got both Blue Yami and Red Sally. Blue Yami because he has a silence for ult and skill 2, which if he could get it off before Noelle in very limited amount of cases, but if he can, he's going to be able to completely neutralize Noelle or any other unit with a shield for that matter, as the shields are either skill 2 or ult. So I'd say that Blue Yami is good for that. And Sally is very good for the magic attack meta right now. Well, if we look on the top, Noelle needs magic attack for shield and DPS. Lich too. Rada S2 for his shield. And those are the 3 main units, but they're 3 really good units. And Sally could give that. Was it AoE? Let me check. Is it AoE? Is it AoE? Is it AoE? This is support. So is it an AoE magic attack increase or just one person? To one ally. Okay, but you could give all attack increase to all allies. Okay, that's perfect. That's actually really nice. So those 2 are deserving of A tier. Sally is nice, and it's not fully a speed meta right now. It's reliant on speed, obviously, but it's not as much of a speed meta as it was like a month ago. So to me, it's nice, right? We've got more of a defense meta. So I personally rather this defense meta, but sometimes, oh my god, is it annoying. Now, as for B tier, no one else really moves up or down to B tier. I can't really say much, right? If we really look at it, Everyone's deserving of A tier. I mean, maybe Noel to A, but that's it. Solid. In terms of AoE damage, it won't be too crazy, but does he have... Let me check if he has a skill 2 and alt silence, or if it's just a alt silence. Let me see. So his silence is only for skill 2. Okay, so yeah, he's staying there. It's nothing crazy. If you could also stop Radis' shield, that would be nice, but no. So yeah, he's a very solid B tier though, but everyone else is deserving of B tier. Gifso would be higher in PvE, but this is not a PvE tier list, it is a PvP tier list, right? Now, as for C tier, we're going to move Mimosa up because she does have a heal, and it's a good one. Charmy 2 could maybe go up. I could say, I could see Charmy go up, but there's too many blue healers right now that are here, so I'd say that Charmy's just not worth it because you've got the free-to-play Charmy, and then you've got Kohono, who's in the end featured. So I just... Charmy's worth isn't really there. But if we look at it, she has one heal for one person, and then another heal for another person. So 2 single-target heals doesn't compare to anything else. So PvP-wise, Charmy, not good. Now, let's go to the new units. New units will be very important. Let's start with the biggest change, a second person in Noel's tier, so we can make it the SS tier. First time having someone else that's alongside Noel, and this is a very momentous occasion. Noel is insane. Sorry, not Noel. Julius is insane. He has a single target stun guaranteed, and he also applies stamina reduction, and he gets an extra turn if he kills. He has a skill 2 AoE that does insane damage. He also applies stamina reduction if you have his skill page, which you better have it for Julius. Unlucky if you just didn't get it, very unlucky. And then his skill 1 reduces stamina by 5 and then increases everyone's stamina by 5, ally stamina by 5 if he gets a crit. He's an amazing stamina, speed, and just staller. He's just amazing, and he has an extra turn revive. And at max dupes, that's 100% HP recovery with the resurrection. And he also has the second highest speed in the game, trumping Noel's speed, which is very useful and is honestly just amazing that they did that. But you have to have max dupes, so kind of unlucky, right? Kind of unlucky. Now, next up, we're gonna put Asta in S tier because he has the one turn where you cannot stun anyone, very similar to Mars's for debuffs, but him is for stunning. And I believe that it is just a really good skill to have. And props to Asta. He has a guaranteed taunt on one person and then an AoE taunt. He transfers debuffs onto him and removes them. He's a pretty good tank, but not an amazing tank. But he is good enough for him to be an S tier. I'd say that he's definitely better than SR Asta for this. For the simple fact that he stops stuns turn 1 and also has a guaranteed taunt on someone that you would want to taunt. So to me, Red Asta is looking very good. Next up, Charmy, S tier. Same use as Kohono. If we go if we open both of them, they both heal, right? But Charmy's is what's it called, it's continuous HP recovery. She gives the defense on alt, where Kohono gives all attack on alt, but then she gives her defense on skill 2 with a barrier. So they have like same but also different uses, where her, it's more defense increase, right? You get the defense increase, you get the HP increase, and you get skill point increase in the same ultimate. Where Kohono, she gets HP recovery once and also all attack, but then she also gets a barrier, which is going to be very, it's just barrier meta is always going to be prevalent, right? And then also the defense increase. And is it higher than, no, Charmy's is higher. And if we look at speed, do they have the same speed? I'm like genuinely curious. I've never checked shit. They have the same speed. Charmy has much higher HP, so just little things to consider. Charmy is probably more used in the meta right now, but I think that both are as annoying as each other in my eyes, and they both have the same uses, so you know, both work. Oh right, even if Kohono has less HP, she increases her HP recovery by 30%, so it kind of evens out. But hey, whatever. Those two are really good healers, and they're both deserving of S tier because they have the same role but in different ways. As she gives a barrier Kohono and all attack, where Charmy gives more defense, gives special points, removes DLTs, and heals continuously. So they're the same but also different, right? Now, Vanessa, so pathetic. I wish Vanessa was better. I found something out recently. This is so sad. At the start of a wave, grant protection to the ally with the lowest speed for 2 turns. You see this? Let's put it to SSR. 4 of the, not counting Radis because he gets 7 speed on his passive. The lowest people with the people with the lowest speed is tanks. She's making it so you cannot target a tank for 2 turns. I don't know what to say. She's literally forcing the enemies, the bots, to target your DPS and supports. She's bad for that. She doesn't do great damage. She has horrible like passives on her skills. Bleed, Blessing of Protection, and then with the skill page, debuff immunity, and then silence, but it's only on skill 2 her silence. Not alt. Not alt, only skill 2. If it was alt, she could have been much better, but it's not. And that sucks. And also this is horrible because even if you give her damage resistance, she doesn't get much better in terms of tanking. If we look at her stats for defense, DPS, all right, she's all the way down here. Oh well, I mean everyone has. Sorry, I should probably never mind. Okay, so like she just doesn't have great defense. She's at like the lowest part that you can have as a defender. But her passive is about defending to do more, is about increasing damage res to do more damage, and then HP wise she's all the way down here. So has highest attack stats in the game, but it doesn't help because she doesn't have anything good to help her do more damage except for this, which goes up to 35%, but you need like 350 damage resistance, which makes her a very weird playing field, and I personally hate her, especially because of this. Damage wise horrible, and she also actively kills your team by not letting the enemies target Vanessa. So that's it. This is the tier list. I don't think I made any bad decisions for this. Maybe you would move Ghost down, but except for that, we got some SRs sprinkled here and there. Mimosa got moved up to C tier. Let's go, boys. Huge. Except for that, there's not much. Season 4 should be a much more exciting season than Season 3, but Julius did come out in Season 3, so hey. Anyway, that's it for the tier list. Thank you guys for watching, and that's it for Season 3.